Hi, I'd like to welcome you to the Whispers Aquarium. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm going to be your personal tour guide for the day. Great. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join us here today. I know there are plenty of other things to do while you're cruising, so I'd like to kind of thank you for just taking a few moments to come and visit us. Sometimes people forget about the aquarium over here, even though it's simply magnificent, but yeah, we're kind of tucked away here in the cruise ship. Yeah, so I'll be here to answer any questions that you may have, and I'll be showing you a few of our most popular exhibits. We have a wide variety of sea life. We have amphibians and fish and plants that you might find underwater. And yeah, so definitely I'll be able to help you with all of that, okay? I want to make your experience here as wonderful as possible. Great. Well, I thought I'd like to take just a minute to tell you about the aquarium itself. There are several different rooms that you'll find here. Our largest aquarium is in the main room here, and it's one of the largest cruise ship aquariums that you'll find. It's actually 20 feet deep, and when they were filling up the water, it actually took 36 hours to fill it up completely. It is so expansive. And the main viewing window here you'll find is 50 feet long, and it's 20 feet high. Yes, the the glass that you'll find here is about 2 feet thick, so there's no need to worry about cracks or anything like that. And the water here in this main tank is maintained at about 25 degrees Celsius, which is 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And you'll find about 25 different species in this main tank. We like to give them plenty of room so we don't overcrowd the tank whatsoever. And you'll find that with all of our exhibits. We like to give our sea life plenty of room to swim around and roam around. And there's not much overcrowding that you'll find here. And all of the tanks are maintained on a daily basis, so they're all very clean. And the glass is pretty much spotless, so you'll be able to have a clear view of all of the amphibians and such. Yeah. Okay, I thought what we'd do is we'd go to this first exhibit here. And this is one of my favorite animals actually in this particular tank. These are black blotched fantail rays. I have to say that very slowly or else I'll get tongue-tied. It's a tongue twister. So, yes, typically this particular animal is found in the Indo-West Pacific, and it's found from the Red Sea region all the way to East Africa, and even to Japan, in the southern area. And you'll also find it in Micronesia and the tropical regions of Australia. It's usually found in reefs, and it swims about in shallow regions such as in lagoons and in the outer reef areas. Yes, actually, it's a rather large stingray, and you'll find it has no thorns on it, on its tail specifically, as some stingrays might. And yeah, it actually got its name because of its physical characteristics, given that it's black and white with a mottled surface, essentially. Now, these particular, that's a very good question, yeah. These particular stingrays, they actually feed on bottom fishes and crabs and shrimp and bivalves. And they'll actually go into large holes that they find in the sand, and they'll blow water out from their mouth to kind of flush out their prey. It's quite interesting. And when they do have offspring, they have litters of offspring, so they can have up to 7 at one time. I know, quite interesting. Yes, exactly. It doesn't have one of those thorns per se that are typically found on stingrays, but it does have a venomous barb that is at the base of its tail that you'll see right there. So, exactly, yeah, that's quite dangerous. They can be quite dangerous if provoked, especially. Yeah, it is actually listed as vulnerable on the species list, simply for the fact that it is fished commercially in some regions of the world, and they value it for its meat and its cartilage. So, it's quite beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I love the way they just float there. Like, yes, they almost remind me of just kind of dark clouds looming in the water. All right. As we move on to the next area of the aquarium, yes, we actually have 15 different species of fish in this particular tank. Not including plants, of course. That's just sea life. Fish, in other words. Yeah. And I'd like to point out one particular fish in this tank, and this is the Garabaldi. And you'll notice he's the bright orange one floating about in there, and they are one of my favorites just for their vibrant color, and they're absolutely amazing. And the most interesting thing, yes, the Garibaldi are actually found in the eastern Pacific Ocean, and originally from Monterey Bay, and they go all the way to southern Baja, and even into Mexico. One of the most interesting things about these are they're extremely territorial, number one. And number two, you'll actually find that the male and the female roles are kind of reversed from the typical sea life roles. So, yes. Essentially what will happen is the male is the one who, of course, guards the territory in this particular case, but he also is the one who takes care of the eggs. So essentially what happens is in the early spring, the male is the one who will begin preparing the nest, and he will attract a female with a swimming display. And then once the fertilization does occur, she will lay the eggs in the algae nest that he's prepared, and he will actually fertilize them at that point. And then he chases away the female. It's quite interesting because generally there's a chance that she will eat those eggs, so he has to guard the eggs. So he will continue to guard the eggs and clean them and make sure they are free of predators and debris. And the female will not be there in any way to help, and he will do this for about 50 eggs to 1,000 eggs, depending on how many she lays, of course, and how many are fertilized. And they'll incubate for a duration of about 2 to 7 days, and then they'll hatch. And there are several different families that may spawn in one particular nest, and one female may lay eggs in various different nests. So it's quite fascinating. I think that they're very interesting. And another interesting fact is this is the official marine fish of the state of California. Yeah. All right, we're coming up on our next tank here, and this is the zebra shark tank. There are a wide variety of other sharks that do kind of get along with the zebra shark, but we call this the zebra shark tank simply because it's one of the main attractions here. And yes, this is typically a shallow water species, and it is found in the Indian Ocean and the West Pacific areas of the world. It's usually found kind of adjacent to the coral reef areas and in areas where there is more of a sandy seafloor. This particular this particular sea life is nocturnal, and they'll essentially hunt for food at night, and then they'll rest on the ocean floor during the day. And it eats mainly snails, shrimps, sea urchins, crabs, that sort of thing, and a variety of other small fish. And one unique thing about it, or another unique thing about it, I should say, is that it's able to fit into smaller holes and crevices within the ocean, so over the reef, so it can search for food that many other sharks and many other larger fish are unable to find. Yeah, they're actually they get their name due to the fact that they have a striped colored pattern when they're born, when they're newly hatched, and this kind of darkens to these yellowish bars as they age, and then as an adult they'll essentially just take on this particular form where they're tan with darker spots. Yeah. Now you'll find just a small tank in this next area here, which we have amphibians in. We have a total of 20 different species of amphibians, and there's actually a couple of other tanks spread out throughout this particular room with different species, specifically those that may not get along or be able to cohabitate with other types of amphibians. So you'll find frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts. We even have yes, we have a spotted frog right there. And there are a couple of toads there that are quite interesting as well. Lucy and Ethel, or we call them Lucy and Ethel. Yeah. We don't typically give all of our animals names, for the simple fact that sometimes it's hard to distinguish them and tell them apart. But on a rare occasion we do kind of name them, yeah. Alright, so that's kind of the end of the tour, so I'm just going to let you, roam around and kind of explore a bit of the aquarium. Are there any other questions I can answer for you? Yeah, you can actually, there's a gift shop at your exit, and we have a few different books, pieces of literature pertaining to sea life, so you can take a look at those if you like. And we also have various different souvenirs you can purchase as well to kind of remind you of your time here at our aquarium. Okay, that's great. Well, enjoy just kind of roaming around, and I'll be here if you have any questions. It's great meeting you. Enjoy the rest of your cruise.